All right, folks, we're here in our 2024 WRX, and I have the production version of the DarkmatterX DM2 shifter that Erik has sent over. This is the production version of the prototype shifter that we installed, probably 6 months ago or more. And we really loved the change that this made to the car, the shifter feel, just having that direct linkage. But now, there's some revisions that we recommended. Erik changed a couple of things. Now we've got the production version here. Looks really cool. We're very excited to take this one out, put this one in, see what the differences are, and then we'll take it for a spin and tell you what we think. For those of you that didn't see our initial install video of the Darkmatter DM2 V2 shifter in our VBWRX, this car has a cable shift mechanism from the factory. So when you're pulling on the shift lever, you're pulling cables that are connected to the transmission. This shift assembly basically removes the main shift cable and replaces it with a rod. So you have a direct connection to the transmission. So when you're shifting gears, you are directly connected to the transmission. You get a lot more direct feedback, which is what the STI has always had, what the older WRXs had, is that direct connection to the transmission. So it's a lot more positive feel with the shifter. There's a cable for the reverse lockout that's retained because you can't get rid of that, but otherwise it is a direct linkage to the transmission. We really liked the way that this prototype changed the feel, but there was a couple design changes or issues that we had with the install. The biggest one was to do with this plate to set up where the reverse lockout would hit to prevent you from going into reverse accidentally. Originally, you had to slide a plate around and kind of get it set up into the right position, and that was tricky. We had to remove some material from the stock here to get enough access for an Allen key tool to get in there. It was a little bit tricky. It was doable, but it was a little bit cumbersome. What Erik has done is he took that in, removed some more material here, and so the fasteners are much more directly accessible. But the big change is he realized that you didn't have to shift that plate around. You could use actually a fixed plate that wouldn't slide. Because the problem that we ran into is that some people at the shop, who shall remain nameless but might be running this camera, would push too hard and could slide the plates over, and then you have to reset it because otherwise you couldn't find 5th and 6th gear anymore. So with a fixed plate, that can't happen, and that basically gave the shifter a much better feel, especially in 5th and 6th, and then for the reverse lockout. So that's really great. It looks like one of the holes was removed, which is fine. We were always using this hole for the shifter anyway. That's really the biggest difference. It worked really well before. I think the install is going to be a little bit easier this time around. So we're going to get into it, put it in the car. Oh, I almost forgot this other thing. This is another new addition. This is a big old chunk of steel, and this is a counterweight. It's going to bolt to where the shift rod connects to the transmission. Very curious how this is going to affect the shifter feel. I'm guessing it might make it a little bit easier to get into gear. Maybe just give it a little bit more heft as you're shifting. Very curious about that, because when we installed our linkage, which was connected directly to the shift pivot on the transmission, there was a counterweight that we removed, but I'm curious to see what that makes the shifter feel like. So yeah, with all that's said and done, let's get this put in the car. Let's see what it does. We've gone through, Viet has put the production shifter back into the car. Let's take a look up by the transmission at a couple of the differences. So what we've got up here is the shift rod coming in to the transmission. So this bolt here, this is where the shift rod actually connects to the transmission. First and foremost, make sure you Loctite that bolt. We made that mistake and it actually got loose on us. So definitely Loctite this bolt that connects the rod for the shifter to the transmission shift mechanism itself. Now we have this new weight that came with the production kit, which we have bolted on, so that should change the feel of the shifter a little bit. Curious to see what that does. But otherwise, the shift rod itself, we just left that in place, and the box underneath, we just retained that. So not a whole lot of differences underneath. The install was pretty much from underneath as straightforward as it was when we were testing the prototype. So inside the car, the install was basically, again, the same as before, but with one really critical difference, which is that the throw of the shifter to 1st, 2nd, and then to 5, 6, we didn't have to do any adjusting at all. The shifter just worked. So basically it was just a bolt-on affair. That's a massive, massive improvement compared to the prototype, where we actually had to set that throw of the 1st, 2nd, and 5th, 6th. And reverse lockout works great. So largely it works just as the prototype did, but just the install being simpler. And with that weight, you really can feel the throw of the shifter. It's a smoother, it's an easier throw. I think that counterweight is helping you a good deal. So yeah, I mean, it feels great. We like the prototype. We really like this one, and from an install standpoint, I mean, this is definitely, it's got a lot of critical improvements. So yeah, only thing left to do is fire the car up and take it out and drive it and see what it feels like to actually drive with this thing. So, not surprising, initial shift impressions, very, very similar to the prototype. I mean, it's a direct linkage. I mean, it gives you kind of like the shift feel that you got with, the older WRX and STI. So no real surprise there. But yeah, I do think it is a nice improvement over what you typically get, or what the cable shifter in these cars gives you. Just, it's way more direct feel, way more engaging. Yeah. It does seem like with the new weight, there's just less effort to put the car into gear, which is nice. Yeah, overall, I mean, still really like the dark matter shifter. I mean, it's definitely an investment if you really just want like that real direct engaged feel with the shifter. That's where this makes sense. But as far as that goes, I mean, it is a really nice positive improvement to just how the shifter feels with the car. Just like it a lot. I think I would be hard pressed to get in a car without it now, just because we're getting really used to having it. Got to send a thanks out to Erik and the guys at DarkmatterX for sending this over, involving us in the prototype process. That was a lot of fun. To see something that we kind of throw our 2 cents into that helped improve it, I mean, that's kind of cool too. So, yeah, really like this shifter. It's available on our website, flatironstuning.com, as are any and all of your Subaru parts needs. So, yeah, head over there. That support goes a long way in helping us, keep coming back and make this content for you. And until next time, as always, stay tuned with Flatirons Tuning.